Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1101. All right, 1101. Today, I haven't done this for a while, my phone tips, but we have tons of phone tip episodes. If you go to screwthecommute.com/training and then just hit Control F for find or Command F for find on a Mac and just put in the word iPhone or phone and you'll get tons of episodes. And I got to tell you, you got your phone with you all the time. You need to really learn how to use it. So there's all kinds of things. I mean, it'll do a million things, but I tried to pick the ones that are really good for us entrepreneurs. Okay, hope you didn't miss episode 1100. That was a little bit different in that I did my life in bullets because so many people ask me, how I made it and how I came up and what my life was like. So I thought 1100 would be a good episode to do it on. So that was my life in bullets. Anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ and then the episode number. That was 1100. All right, pick up a copy of my automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. And if you're in my mentor program, you get a scholarship to my school, imtcva.org, certified to operate by Chev. That's our governing body for this type of school. And it's quality distance learning. And you'll have an in-demand skill in as little as 6 months, and we've had people making money long before they graduated. So check all that out. All right, so let's get into some phone tips here. Now, you Android people, I don't have an Android, but usually the tip that I give you is doable some way on an Android, so I just want you to know about it and then just hit YouTube or something to figure out how to do it on an Android. All right, so the first one is your magnifier. You should get to know your magnifier. It's very, very handy. I use it all the time. And from the iPhone, you swipe from the top right to the bottom left to get into that kind of control panel. And if it's not there, then you got to go install it. And there's easy ways to install it. But if it's there, you just hit on it. It's like a circle with a handle on it with a plus inside it. It's a magnifier. So when you open it up, there's a yellow slider. There's two yellow sliders. One is how much you're going to zoom with the magnifier. And the other one is to turn on your flashlight to give you extra light on whatever you're trying to look at. You can vary the intensity of the light. So that's really cool. And then there's some buttons below. One is detect. That's really crazy. It'll tell you what you're looking at if you don't know. Like if you hold it at your keyboard, it'll say, oh, that's a keyboard. Or if you hold it at your mouse, it'll be your mouse. But if it's something you don't know what it is, it'll give you its best educated guess of what it is. That's kind of cool. And then if you hit capture, then it freeze frames the thing that you're looking at. And so you can show it to somebody else or look at it yourself and so forth. You can also capture it as a picture. And then the other cool thing is if you hit the settings button, if this isn't available on your phone or if you don't see it, the selfie button on your camera, if it's not visible in the magnifier, you hit settings and go down and tell it to turn on the front camera. And you can, I imagine you could put on makeup, lipstick with it, it's like a mirror. And so a very handy thing to get to know and just play with it a little bit, and you'll find yourself using it all the time. All right, that's the magnifier. Now, the next thing is a kind of a productivity tip on typing, and it's called slide to type. And to make sure it's turned on, you go to Settings, General, Keyboard, and then toggle on the slide to type, or it might just say slide. And in this case, you can put your finger on the first letter of what you're typing and then just slide to the next letter, to the next letter, to the next letter, and then it'll type out the word for you. Now, I use this sometimes. I haven't used it enough to get really, really good at it, but it is very handy. So that's called slide to type. Okay, now a lot of people ask, I just mentioned it earlier on using Control F as a finder or Command F on a Mac, and that searches your whole, whatever you're looking at, it'll search it for you. And they say, well, is there something like that on the iPhone? Well, yeah, if you look on your home screen below the main apps that you have, there's a little tiny thing that says Find. If you click on it, it gives you a search box and it'll search your whole iPhone and bring up a whole list of things based on your search. So that's very, very handy. I use that all the time because I can never find stuff, even if it's I got a million apps on there, some I haven't used for a long time, but there's just tons of them. And instead of searching through screen to screen, I just type in the name of it and boom, it comes right up. And then I can click on it and I don't have to go search through all my screens of apps to get it. But it'll search the whole thing for whatever you're searching for. So that's a handy one. And it's similar to a Control F or a Command F on a computer. Okay, so here's a really handy tip here. This is when you want to take a video of something. Let's say, this happens to me all the time when I'm out playing with the dogs. Oh, I want to take a video in a hurry, but then I got to open my camera app and then click over to video and so forth. So in this case, I'm in my camera app and I'm ready, but I don't want to just take a picture. So I hold down the shutter button and it instantly starts taking videos. Now, if you let up on the shutter button, it'll stop. But if you swipe to the right, you hold down the shutter button to get the video started, swipe to the right, it'll keep the video app rolling. And then you just tap again when you want to stop the video. So that's very handy to get video going way faster than a bunch of clicks. Okay, so that's a cool tip. Then there's another thing with photos. Now, I didn't know this until today, all right, because I was searching for, lots of tips for you. So I'm going to be using this one. This is very easy. So let's say you want to edit a photo. So you edit it, but you start thinking, is the edit that I made better than the original? And you might, let's say you're doing the contrast or the color saturation or the cropping, whatever it is. So I just found out today, all you have to do is, all right, make some changes and then tap the photo and it goes back to the original. Tap it again, it goes to the changes. And you can go back and forth just by tapping the photo to see the changes and whether you like the best ones, the new ones or not. And if you don't like them, you can just hit cancel and it'll go back to the original. But if you're happy with it, you hit done. Now, here's the thing. Maybe you have second thoughts later. Oh man, should I have done those changes? Well, you can actually hit revert and it'll go back to the original. All right. So those are very handy tips, especially the video one. I use that all the time. And of course, Control F, the find thing I use all the time. The magnifier I use all the time. I don't use the slide to type, but you might like that, so you can experiment with that. And then I just learned about this photo editing thing. So a lot of good tips today. All right, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and my school at imtcva.org. Save yourself a couple $100,000 from putting your kids or yourself into a 4-year indoctrination camp, and they come out and looking for jobs and competing for jobs at Starbucks because nobody wants people. These companies want people with skills, and a lot of them, Google, IBM, lots of them have stopped Facebook, stopped the college degree requirement to work there because they want people that have skills, not just have some worthless degree. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We'll catch you all in the next episode. See you later.